Skinny. 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 Keelan. Hi and welcome to this vlog. Today it is a very chilly -12 degrees Celsius outside today, and we don't really have any plans outside this weekend because of that. So today I think I'm gonna show you around a little bit and show you the harnesses and the bridles that I have built over the years for the horses. I do this as a hobby and also just practical because I cannot really buy bridles their size anywhere else. Mostly because if I buy it X large, it will be large in places it shouldn't be large, and small in places it shouldn't be small. So they don't seem to have a standard measurement really for their very, very big heads. So I usually just make them myself. And I really like the hobby as well. It's a very fun way to create, I think, and it's very calming. So I am gonna show you a little bit of the variety of things that I make for them, and it's gonna be a little bit of just show and tell. So you're just gonna see me try on a lot of different things on them, and I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about each one that I make. Why do you have icicles on your... Oi. I'm gonna try and walk you through all the different projects I have with making harnesses for the horses and bridles for the horses. I have a whole like mountain over here with bridles that I need to get through. But first I thought I would show you my most favorite set that I have, and this was made for Tumut. Now I use many different methods for creating harnesses and bridles for the horses, and one of them is broidery. And this is a kind of a mask that he is wearing under the bridle. And every one of these little things are hand embroidered. And they took about, I would say, a day each because they have pearls on them as well. And you can see how many there are. I haven't counted them, but there are quite many of them. So this sits on the top of his head. And then I also made some cheek pieces. These are a little bit worn, so some of the pearls have fallen off. But the hand embroidered piece here is still there. And this is one of my favorite ones because I just find it so pretty. And Then also in the set is this piece, and this is actually made out of warbler. So this one goes to about all the different blue bridles that I have, and I really like the blue to Tumut's white fur, and this is made with so many hours of handcrafting, hand stitching, and also hand punching these little X's so they would stand out in the leather, so you can see they're not the same height as the rest of the leather. And then I just hand painted all of them, and you can see how many it is, and also on the back side. So it is, every one of these pieces are a lot of work that I have done and put into them. At one point in my life, I wanted to become a saddle maker until I figured out that I needed to pay for all the materials at the same time as I was expected to move there to get the education. So instead, I just got a very expensive hobby that I have taught myself over the years. So I am in no way a educated harness maker or anything. I have learned all these things by myself, and it is very doable to learn it by yourself, just by trial and error and seeing what will work and what will not work. I have done many of these things that I am sure isn't the way that you're used to or meant to make them, but it works. So for instance, this mask, I haven't seen it on anything else, and it is hand embroidered, as I said, but also on the inside, to make it a little more stiff, you can see it can stand up by itself, there is warbler on the inside. And warbler has been a big thing about creating these different things, because warbler is a moldable substance that in the normal range of temperature is hard or stiff. So for instance, the moon that I showed you on this piece is made out of warbler, but also on another one of the blue bridles that I have, this piece, I made these pieces out of warbler, so they stand out a little bit from the bridle itself. And also this piece here is warbler, and this piece here is warbler. And this one is primarily made to fit with one of my chevrons here in the background, and also with a crinière. Now I am not sure if that is the correct way of saying it, but basically the neck armor of the horse. And I also made this one myself out of warbler and foam, and you can see it is very bendable. And I think my paint job did it fairly a good amount of justice, and you can see under here how it is put together. So I pretty much just stitch it together where a rivet would be, and you can also see that it is warbler here on the underside. So yeah, so I kind of made my own armor as well, or my own kind of mock armor, fox armor out of warbler. And also the chevron here is made out of warbler. I do have a few of them, and this one is the one that I am most fond of, and that is because I made it with some battle damage, and I thought that was really cool to make that. And this one is again made out of warbler and foam. You can see one of the foam parts here. And I pretty much had to take a plaster cast, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but a plaster cast of the face of the horse that would like set and get stiff on the horse's head, and then I took it off, and then I used it as a mold for creating this because you need to like heat the warbler up and you need to reshape it and do a lot of things with it. So you cannot use the horse's head as a way to measure it while you're doing it. You have to have kind of a mold that you can place it over so you can mold it better. And this one is a gold one. I use the silver one when I need to use the crinière, as I showed you. And all these are actually made from a cast of tractor's head, so it doesn't quite fit Tumut as well. So one of these days I'm gonna have to make a cast of Tumut's head, and I'm sure it's gonna be very fun. So the last thing I want to show you with the warbler is the warbler tops of a harness that I'm making. And you have seen this before if you have seen the video where I make the harness shafts for Bebop. And these are the harness tops that he is gonna be having. So this is gonna be how the harness is gonna look. He's gonna wear it like this. And this is very nice and so, but it's gonna be so small that you cannot really see it on a goat. But I have made something else. And these ones are the ones for Tumut. And I think I have shown them before. And this is how they're gonna look, and they're quite a lot bigger. I can show you here. So this is the one for Bebop and that is the one for Tumut. So they are bigger, you're gonna be able to see a lot more of detail. I am working on making a full harness for Tumut that's gonna be blue, that I'm gonna call Galaxy because it's gonna be very cutesy and blue. This is gonna be the harness yokes, I think they are called, and they're gonna be blue. I have here a color test on it. I just wanna be sure that the blue color isn't gonna turn green over time. So that is why I am making a little test there just to check. And it's gonna take a long time to get done, I am sure, but I'm just gonna take it one step at a time and then I'll be done before I know it. Beep beep. Okay, so continuing on with the blue, I think. So, as I said, blue is my favorite color, and I had this period where I would just create so many blue bridles that almost look the same. So I am only gonna show you a couple of them. And here we have the one that I like the most, and it has a beep 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 Benny. And it has a rose quartz on the brow band, I guess you would say it is. And it has some jingle jangle on it as well. And so in this period I was very into sigils. I am not sure if you say it correctly. So these tiny little symbols that you see here. And these are all made with some tiny steel wire, and they are all over the bridle really. But when they aged, they turned kind of black, so you don't really see them anymore. But if you look at them, you can clearly see them, but a little further away and they're not really visible. And I think that's a really cool way to have them there and only see them really when you're close to the bridle itself. And also I have these that I made with warbler as a part of a Halloween photo shoot. This is just a completely regular snaffle, and I just made a moon because we had a little witchy kind of photo shoot going on. So I made a half moon because the bridle itself has the moon faces here. And I made it as a part of the bit. And it worked really well, and it's actually not that clumsy to ride with at all. So that is really nice. And I also went through a phase of making a lot of these under the chin patches, or under the chin emblems, or what you would call them. So this is a half moon again, following the style of the bridle. And as I showed you before with the half moon here as well, it's the same kind of thought that you have something under the chin hanging there dangling. And I don't know why, I think it's a hussar thing that they had this star under the chin of the horse. And I know that the neck pieces that hangs around the horse are some kind of way to put the reins in when you are walking the horse. So something like that. If you know what the exact purpose of it, please write me, because then I clearly don't know. So yeah, so that is one of the blue ones. And you already saw another one of the blue ones. Where did I put it? Okay, that one is gone. So another blue one. Here is kind of the same idea, again with the moon faces here and a star, and with the same kind of symbols here along the bridle. But this one is not with a Y brow band, this one is with an X brow band, so you can see here. This will go over the nose ridge of the horse. And it just has the kind of same idea as the other one. It is blue with a lot of sigils on it. It has some extra bling here. And I usually get the extra bling from kind of medieval fantasy role-playing pages online, where they have a bunch of different ornaments for belts primarily. I think it is for. And this is one that I got. So this is real metal, this is not warbler. You can see it's a lot more detailed. And this one is also for a belt, I think, and I just sanded a little bit of it off so it could sit on the bridle like that and look pretty. So yes, so that was the last of the blue bridles. Next up is the driving harness that Tractor has on. And this is one of the bling pieces that I added on it. And it has like these little bells that are very cute, and they have a very nice sound. Beep beep. And you can see here it is the Nightingale symbol. Two nightingales on a dragon. And I made the full harness on my own, apart from the yokes that he pulls in. I have two different bridles that he can wear for that particular harness, and it is these two. And one of them has a Y brow band with little birds on them. Here we go. And I really like the yellow or orange to the brown of the harness. So this is one of my favorites. And it also has ray skin in the inlays of the noseband here. And I love how ray skin is naturally just very, very shiny. And it's just so nice, I think, to have something shine on it. Very nice. So that is one of the choices that I could have him wear while he has that harness on. The other one is the one he is wearing in the video, and it has these patches, blinkers, I think they're called, so he cannot see and get scared if something is around his flank. Not that he has that issue, but I wanted to make that because it is just a very traditional driving and it would give me more opportunity to have bling on there, so of course. Yes, so the blinkers themselves have covers because I thought that would be cute to have, and the covers just pulls off. Should pull off, that is. There we go. They're a little bit tight so they don't just fall off on their own. And this is what is on the inside of that cover. Here's the inside of the cover against the eye. And the cover itself is hand embroidered by me, and it has this traditional Swedish pattern on it. So I thought that was very nice to have on there, so I can choose what he is, what the blinkers are looking like. I never got the blinkers to really work. I wanted it to make kind of a strap for them up to here or over to the other one so they don't flap around as much. But to be honest, I don't really use the bridle that much, so it never really, it was kind of a lost project there. I didn't really get around to do more of that, so it just is what it is now, and I don't really use it. I would rather use the other one because I think that is prettier. So this leaves us to the last bunch here, and I think I'm gonna start with the green bridle here. So this one I have hardly used, and I don't know why, because I really like it, but I never, when I settle up, I never go like, oh, I should use the green one. It's almost always the blue ones or the ones that I'm gonna show you now later. But this one is really special. It has a labradorite that has a purple shine. I hope you can see it here. It's not always it shows on the camera. And the purple shine is pretty rare for a labradorite, I think. I think it's more common that they shine in green or blue, as these ones do, as you can see here, the small ones here. And I got the pink one from India, and I got it at a pretty fair price. And I hand mixed the color for this bridle because green is one of my least favorite colors, because green is so, for my eyes, green is very sharp and I don't like the hue of it. So I mixed this color on my own, because on its own, when the color arrives in the bottle, it is kind of a, it's just an odd color to me. So it has a lot of yellow in the color actually. And I hope you can see it here where it has bleached a little bit. That you can see it has a lot of yellow in it. So I also wanted to do some yellow or orange on it so it would shine out the green a little bit. And I think it probably does. It looks like a good forest green. It almost doesn't look green. You focus more on the orange parts. At least that is what I think. And here, beep beep, and here is the shine again. And it is just very, very cute to have on because it has so many stones on it. And here we have the collar band that goes with the bridle, also the same green with a lot of, you can see this one has bleached. So the color will bleach if it is in the sun, and you can see how much this one was in the sun compared to the other side. So this one is the one side where it has bleached a lot of yellow, and this one is where it hasn't gotten a lot of sun. So this one is the color band for this one. And you can see down here is a little patch as well, a little symbol, and with a plant where it has a sun on top and a moon down below. And I don't know where I get it from, I just get a lot of ideas. So yes, so this is the green one. Very happy about that one too, but I don't use it as much as I probably should. So these are the last two, and this is one of the forms that I like the most. I'm gonna take my modern bridle. So this is my take on a modern bridle with a schwung brow band, as you can see here. And it also has the race skin on it. I hope you can see it. It has the race skin down here. Here you can see it's more shiny down here because the top part is partly gold, and I colored this one so it isn't as shiny. And it also has a little bit here. So I have made a lot of different bridles over the years, and the one place that is the hardest to make good or to make sound is the part behind the ear and also the noseband and around the bit area, because you get pressured for space in those places. And I have found that this particular shape for the noseband with this little bend here, it automatically just, when this part here, because this part can move because it's on a ring here, when that part moves down, it just automatically tightens the bridle on the face. But at the same time, if the horse should open its mouth, it will just open because it can relax in this part. So I find this best for at least a draft horse, that it has that leeway so it can bend a little bit there. And I made it black because most modern bridles are black, and that is just the way it is. But I tried to make my kind of touch on it. So the last bridle I will show you is the academic bridle that I made for a tractor. The black one was also for tractor. Most of the bridles that I have made was for tractor, apart from some of the blue bridles, which are for Tumut. This one is the same shape, or was the same shape. You can see it has been used heavily. So it was the same shape as the black one. You can see it has that, bend for the noseband here. It has the same ring and can move the same. But it also have a cavesson ring, so I am able to lunge my horse in it. And this one is, I call it the bumblebee, because tractor has a similar shape to a bumblebee, big and round and very cute. And I chose to make it yellow, and it has just aged beautifully over time. It has this like tan color now, but it started out the same yellow as is under here, or even more yellow, I would say. And it has nothing really special on it. It is just a completely normal work bridle, and I use this a lot, and I have used this a lot because it is just my go-to thing, I think. So these are all the bridles that I am the most happy for. I do have more in different colors and shapes, but these are the ones that I want to build on and create again, or create similar types of. So that is why I showed you these ones. So I just want to put a quick input in here. The harness that I am making for Tumut is gonna look like this. And I am gonna show you a video of my process in designing and creating all these different bridles, just as a extra thing to show you the process that I go through when I create these things. And a lot of these just started out as small scribbles or drawings, and then I decided I'm gonna try and make this in real life and see if it works. Also, the harness for Tumut, the parts of it that I cannot make myself, which is all the metal parts I got from a old vintage harness. And here is the, I'm not sure what you call it in English, direct translation from Swedish into English would be harness bow, so selbåge, and this is what is gonna sit on top of his back and where you draw the reins through. So this is it. So it's gonna take me a while to create the harness, but I am gonna show you how I figured out how I want the harness at the end of this video. So I hope this video gave you a little information about the different harnesses and the bridles that I make and what my plans are for the next ones.